தேசிய வளர்ச்சி குழு கூட்டம் இப்போது டெல்லியில் ஆரம்பிக்கப்பட்டிருக்கிறது. இதனை குறித்த நேரடி காட்சிகளை இப்போது நாம் காணலாம்.
Global slowdown combined with some domestic constraints has meant that our growth has also slowed down. Our first priority must be to reverse this slowdown. We cannot change the global economy, but we can do something about the domestic constraints which have contributed to the downturn. The most immediate problems we need to tackle are the implementation problems affecting large projects, including particularly power projects which are stuck because of delays in getting clearances and fuel supply agreements. We have taken a number of steps to deal with this problem, including the establishment of a new cabinet committee on investment under my chairmanship. I am confident these steps will have a positive effect, but their full impact will take time. The Deputy Chairman has indicated that in view of the latest assessment of the state of the global economy, the overall growth target for the 12th plan is being set at 8%. This is a reasonable modification, but I must emphasize that achieving an average of 8% growth following less than 6% in the first year is still an ambitious target. As the plan document makes clear, the high growth scenario will definitely not materialize if we follow a business as usual policy. The plan identifies a number of areas where new initiatives and policy innovations are needed. Many of these are areas where the principal responsibility is that of the states. I look forward to hearing the views of Honorable Chief Ministers on these suggestions. Ladies and gentlemen, while we need to accelerate growth, we do not view growth as an end in itself. Our real objective must be to improve the condition of lives of the Aam Aadmi, which is why we emphasize that growth must be inclusive. There are two reasons why rapid growth is necessary to achieve greater inclusiveness. First, it is necessary to generate the revenues to finance our many programs of inclusiveness. If growth slows down, neither the states nor the center will have the resources needed to implement inclusiveness programs. We will either be forced to cut these programs or be pushed into tolerating a higher fiscal deficit, which will have other negative consequences. Rapid growth also contributes directly to inclusiveness because it provides greater access to income and employment opportunities. Policies aimed at stimulating growth in agriculture and in medium and small industries, combined with steps to promote education and skill development, will produce a growth process which is inherently more inclusive. The 12th plan strategy contains many elements which will ensure that growth is as inclusive as possible. I welcome your comments on this strategy. We also need to pay special attention to disparities between socio-economic groups such as scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, other backward classes and minorities. These groups lag behind the rest of the population in key socio-economic indicators. Fortunately, the gaps are closing, but the pace at which this is happening is not satisfactory and certainly does not match expectations. We need to consider how we can do better. Gender inequality is another important aspect which deserves special attention. Women and girls represent half the population, and our society has not been fair to this half. Their socio-economic status is improving, but gaps persist. The emergence of women in public spaces, which is an absolutely essential part of social emancipation, is accompanied by growing threats to their safety and security. I have in mind the brutal attack on a young woman only a few days ago in the capital and other such reprehensible incidents elsewhere. We must reflect on this problem, which occurs in all states and regions of our country and which requires greater attention both by the center and the states. In this particular case, the culprits have been apprehended and the law will deal with them expeditiously. Government has decided to review the present laws and examine the levels of punishment in cases of aggravated sexual assault. A committee of eminent jurists headed by the former Chief Justice of India, Justice J.S. Verma, has been constituted for this purpose. Let me state categorically that the issue of safety and security of women is of the highest concern to our government. A commission of inquiry is being set up to look into precisely these issues in the capital. There can be no meaningful development without the active participation of half the population, and this participation simply cannot take place if their security and safety are not assured. I urge all chief ministers to pay special attention to this critical area in their states. Ladies and gentlemen, there are many sectors of our economy that are dealt with in detail in the plan document. I will only touch on some of them in my remarks. Agriculture is an area of critical concern. Although the share of many sectors of our economy that are dealt with in detail in the plan document, I will only touch on some of them in my remarks. Agriculture is an area of critical concern. Although the share of agriculture in GDP has fallen to only 15%, about half the population still relies on agriculture as its principal income source. What happens in agriculture is therefore critical for the success of inclusiveness. We need to build on the success of the last plan by increasing land productivity in agriculture, so that we not only meet our rising demand for food, but also increase incomes of those dependent on agriculture. Paradoxically, we should not aim at increasing total employment in agriculture. In fact, we need to move people out of agriculture by giving them gainful employment in the non-agricultural sector. It is only when fewer people depend upon agriculture that per capita incomes in agriculture will rise significantly and sufficiently to make farming an attractive proposition. Agriculture is a state subject, and most of the policy initiatives needed are in the realm of state governments. The Minister of Agriculture, my colleague Shri Sharad Pawar, will be dealing with these issues in some detail, and I look forward to the reactions of Chief Ministers on this important subject.
டெல்லியில் 57வது தேசிய வளர்ச்சிக் குழு கூட்டம் பிரதமர் மன்மோகன் சிங் தலைமையில் தற்போது தொடங்கி நடைபெற்று வருகிறது. இதில் பிரதமர் கூறியதாவது, பொருளாதாரம் கவலைக்குரியதாக உள்ளது என்றும் சர்வதேச அளவில் பொருளாதார நெருக்கடி குறித்தும் பொருளாதாரம் சீருடைய காலம் எடுக்கும் என்றும் அவர் கூறியுள்ளார். அது மட்டுமின்றி உலக பொருளாதார நிலை குறித்து கவலை தெரிவித்துள்ளார். இது மட்டுமின்றி இளம்பெண் மீதான தாக்குதலை கண்டிக்கிறோம் என்றும் கூறியுள்ளார். தொடர்ந்து இதனை குறித்த பல்வேறு செய்திகளை விரிவாக நாம் அடுத்து வரும் செய்திகளை பார்க்கலாம்.